Get a sound check. Let me get a sound check. Can I get a sound check? Let me get a sound check. Can I get a sound check? Let me get a sound check.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Think Global podcast. I'm your host, International Seth, and today's date is Friday, January 30, 2022. I would like to shout out everybody across the world listening to this podcast today. A very happy holidays and a happy new year. I hope everybody's being safe and enjoying it with your family. We got a new guest on our show, my brother, fellow teammate, fellow hooper, international basketballer from the Chi-Town's own, Temi Soyebo. What's up, my man? Temi, what's going down, man? Welcome to the Think Global podcast.
Hey, Yusuf, my brother, what's going on, man? I'm happy to be here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in and listening to you, everything that you got going on, man. I see your grind, you're thinking global, you're growing. I'm happy to see it, my brother.
And I appreciate you, man. Make sure, if you guys are watching this episode today, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because we're 2023. We're going to have a lot more exciting guests coming over from a whole bunch of perspectives from all across the globe, basketballers, businessmen, musicians, everything alike. Right now, we're going to put on Temi on the world call. That's when we give our guests 10 seconds to name off some of the countries they travel to. So right now, we're going to put Temi on the world call. Ready, go.
Spain, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Algeria, Japan, Kosovo, Nigeria, of course, Mexico, Germany, Puerto Rico, Turkey, Tunisia.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So, man, we already know that you're out there, man. You had a long, lengthy list. Why don't you tell the audience about a little bit about your professional playing career, man? I know you mentioned a lot of those countries that's on your list right there. How many of them did you play in? And can you kind of just walk us through like the progression of your career? Where'd you start out?
I actually got my start out in Qatar, where you actually are at right now. I actually played with Qatar Al Said Club. Had a great first year there, but we had some issues and hiccups with with papers and getting registered and everything. My first year was kind of chaos and everything, though. But we actually were playing really really well as a team. We actually had the NBA players. Our head coach Chris Morris, who also played with the Utah Jazz, was going against Mike's. So the first year coming out of college from the States, to have him as your head coach, he taught me a lot. Skill wise, workout wise, and everything like that, and the business side, and also has some great teammates, that I'm still actually cool with today. And that was, I started back in 2007, and I'm still cool with the majority of those guys, that were on that team. And then after that, I moved on to Al Wakra. They were actually in the bottom of the Qatari division, when I got there that year. But for some reason, I made some magic happen. We started knocking off some of the best teams, and then we actually made it to the semifinals. That first year I played with Walker, I played really, really great. So out of college, I got an agent. He was up in Massachusetts. I think it was Orpheus Sports, I believe. He dealt with like a lot of singers and a couple hoopers too as well. So he had got me the deal in Qatar, but after my first 2 years, now it's time to see what's going on. I've been in the Middle East for 2 years and, trying to see if I can get into Europe and everything. So now we're discussing deals. I actually had a deal to go to Russia for, a nice deal in the second league in Russia. They were making like 8 to 10K a month. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Or I had something to go to Egypt, which was in the region as well. We play well in the region, you can kind of move around a little bit. But unfortunately, that summer, at home, like a knucklehead, I actually tore my ACL. So when you tear your ACL, and you're at home and you're not under contract, all of that stuff is coming out of pocket. It was definitely tragic. So that what happened was consequently was I just, that lost both of those deals. The agent didn't re-sign me because now I'm out for a year. We only had a 2-year contract. Now it's, uncertainty. The rehab process and everything back in 2010, I think it was in America, it wasn't that good. So, I had to grind. I took that year off or whatever. And then, I had surgery. nobody pretty much knew but the agent or whatever. Teams were looking for me and everything. I was just kind of dormant and quiet for a period of time. Just trying to get my mind right, get my body back right, and everything. So I caught a whiff of the Brea thing, Army thing, playing in Qatar for a tournament and everything. So it was probably about like 8, 9 months after I had torn my ACL, they called me to come back, for the tournament or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I can go back there because I know what I'm getting myself into when I go to Qatar, the rehab with Aspetar and everything like that. That's top notch. So I go back there and I end up getting picked up to play, for a cup. You know, I played well, even though I was fresh off injury, and everything like that.
Was
But it was just
was
something.
was that with Alderby?
No, it wasn't with Al Arabi. It was actually with Walker again, just because, like
Okay.
I said, but they didn't know that I was coming off an ACL injury. So I played in that, got a couple of $1,000s for playing in that short tournament, and then we ended up playing in the Jesh Berea tournament. After that, then I actually stayed for a little while to kind of like rehab and get myself together. Then that following year, I actually got picked up by Qatar, and this is when everything, kind of like now, I had a year of rehabbing and getting going. I got picked up by Qatar Sports Club. I had a terrible team that year, but I made like $8,000. I had a nice flat, on the 24th floor with a nice big truck. And I'm like, I'm just happy to be back hooping again. I'm playing well and everything like that. I'm saying, living well, making some money, being able to take care of yourself. Because you got to think, I got injured. That's a year without playing, without making money. I had to pay for surgery, recovery, rehab, all that stuff. So your pockets get hit too. So that was a blessing right there. So after the season is over with, Al Said travels to Morocco. They had just won the big cup and everything, so they got invited to a tournament in Morocco. The Serbian coach that coached them, they brought me with them to Morocco. So now I go from playing with a weak team to now I'm playing with the best team.
Oh,
Now I got
okay.
now I got Big Mike, a 7-footer. I got a 6'9" wing and Jabril from Senegal. I got a couple 7-footers on the bench, and then I got some more wings that are 6'5". I think Joseph. I had a dude named Karan Clark that went to DePaul. So now I got some hoopers. So now when I go out there, it's an international tournament, teams from Europe, team from Africa, team from Middle East, and then the crowd was crazy. It was so like we were just playing with no fans, and now we go to Morocco. The fans are amazing out there. So I put on the show. I went off, you know what I'm saying? So from there, it just, put my career to the trajectory that it went to. So the following season, that coach, I said, he ended up going to Japan and the BJ League, one of the best leagues in Asia at the time. They needed a guard. He hits me up. Do you want to come play for me in Japan? Oh, say no more. I want to come to Japan, of course. Get to Japan. Japan's amazing. The hospitality, the people. Only thing the food was kind of, I had to find I'm a picky eater, so I had to just find my niche and what I could eat and everything. But it was a great experience. Unfortunately, I ended up getting hurt again. Same knee that I tore my ACL on. I'm just, mentally, I'm just like, man, I just can't. Like it's now, I'm like I said, I'm going up. I'm in a great league now, great situation, great money, great, great everything. And then you having knee problems. They were taking me around, Japan, different cities. Getting the first time I was getting acupuncture on my knee or whatever, trying to just figure out what was wrong. Couldn't get right. So unfortunately, I had to get released. So I was there from August till about November-ish, but they ended up paying me till January or something like that. So
Okay.
which lesson I got blessed, that they appreciated my time because I was polite. I did everything I was supposed to do, what I'm saying, for the most part. So I was blessed that they did that for me. So I go home, it's the holidays, I'm kind of sulking a little bit in my feelings or whatever. Walker, I'm telling you, they must love me. They reach out to me, whatever, and then I talk to them back, once they want to see what's going on with me. So I tell them, I'm like, yeah, I'm at home right now. I'll be ready for the cups. If you guys need me, just let me know. Like I said, I'm just coming home from this injury. I don't know what's going on. They're like, no, we want you to come for the second round. I'm like, whoa, when the second round start? So this is December. The second round starts in like January, I believe, or whatever. So I'm like, whoa. So I had a month. So I went to go see the same doctor that did my surgery. He fitted me with an ACL brace. So with that ACL brace, and he was just telling me my muscles were kind of weak. Those smaller intricate muscles in your knee were kind of weak or whatever, and I had to build them back up. I wasn't doing enough exercise on them, so I said, okay. So I put the brace on. With the brace, I can move fine. I like it just kept my knee so in place. I had my speed, up and down the court. Maybe cutting wise, I wasn't the same, but up and down, I can manage. So I'm like, man, do I want to take this risk or whatever? So I'm getting better, going to the weight room. But then I'm thinking, like I said, Aspetar is amazing. So long story short, I go out there, I go to Aspetar. We're playing well again. Now we have a good team again. Like I said, I hit 2 game winners against the best teams back to back. We're doing amazing now. I'm going to Aspetar, getting rehab. I take the brace off. Now we're playing in a game against Al said, Big Mike's team, the team that I just told you I played with a couple before that won the championship. Now they bring in this guy, Rashad Anderson, that went to UConn. So now now my boy's like, man, you know who they got, Tim? They got Rashad Anderson, whatever, whatever. I'm like, I'm back in my groove now. I'm like, so now we game start. He hit a three. I come down. I hit a three. He come right back down. He hits another three. I come back down right here. Hit a three. He comes back down. Shot fake, one dribble. Miss. I come back down. Hit a three. He come back down like, no, 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 we ain't doing that, young fella. I'm like, whoa. He come back down. It's not on me though, but now we get a switch. So now he try to back me down, and then he hit a little jump shot on me. So then the very next play, instead of me just trying to hit another three and going 4 for 4 to open the game, I tried to do a move where I cross over right to left, go to the baseline, and I try to spin back away from my defender. As I'm spinning away from him, he's pulling me back towards him. Sorry, had him beat. I'm cooking him. We talking stuff this whole game now because, I'm hot now. Be talking, going back and forth. It wasn't Rashad Anderson. It was another Canadian dude that they had just brought in. He's trying to make a team or whatever. I get he's trying to play hard. He's getting cooked in front of everyone or whatever. So he actually pulls me the opposite way. Immediately, I go down. My kneecap broke in half. Yeah.
Man, yeah. And so you have to rehab about that again. So one message I hear for your career, man, is perseverance, man. I'm coming back from injuries or no joke. I mean, I was lucky to get away with just a meniscus surgery and get back on the court 4 or 5 months later. But those ACLs and the patellar tendons and all that, man. Whew. Yeah, yeah. So which country would that for your career stands out the most? I mean, and why? Is it Morocco or is it Qatar since you put in so much work?
No, the crazy thing is about it, bro, is Qatar is always gonna be dope to me just because I met all of y'all. I got so many, like, all my grown-up friends for real that I've met besides the people that I grew up with in Chicago came from Qatar. Some good, Muslim brothers that I met, out there. But I would honestly say that the best place for me was Morocco, off the strength of it was coming off of my second knee surgery on the same leg after another year of rehabbing. Now, instead of coming back to Qatar, a place where I'm familiar, I'm going to a new place where I have to perform, or you're gonna get sent back home, or you're gonna get released, and there's gonna be different problems, and then you don't know where your career is gonna go, and it's a new situation. But for me, I had already played there in that tournament without said. Like I said, this was a tournament that just went for me, which has helped out my career tremendously because they remember me, so now they're looking for me. Oh, dude, where was that guard at? So an agent found me. I was, like I said, I was doing all my deals myself for real. So an agent found me, and I was like, yeah, for sure, I'll come. He didn't know I had surgery. Nobody knew. So I was just, like I said, I rehabbed at Aspetar. So I was good. Like, I cleared to play and everything. So I went out there, bro, got busy. We got busy. The fans were amazing out there. The people, the food. I lived in a small little village town, but it's just everybody that when I walked around the city were waving at me, speaking to me. I'm just trying to help me out any way that they can. My mom came to visit me during Mother's Day weekend. It was amazing. I had 30 in the first half, pulling that joint from half court everywhere.
Amazing, man. Those are all the benefits of an overseas professional player, man. Yeah, yeah. Those are good memories. So now you're back home in the Shy. and
Yeah.
you was able to make a smooth transition because you got you started your own training academy. You want to tell us about the Prolific Skills Academy, what you guys are doing, and how you're training your players back home?
Yeah, man. To be honest, though, it wasn't really that smooth because I didn't know if I really wanted to do it at first. I had some of my guys like, man, can you work on my kids and everything like that? But I was just telling myself to have the patience for it. But then I would go into gyms and see kids not working on the right stuff, and I'm just like, hey, man, you should be doing X, Y, Z, and they're just looking at me like the old man in the gym that's just trying to just thinks he knows everything about basketball because people don't know who I was. What I'm saying? Because I'm coming in after not being home for so long or whatever. And then you scroll on social media and you see some of the just the BS that kids are learning and kids are being taught by people that don't really know basketball and stuff like that. So it's like, and I also have a nephew that's 13 and he wants to play basketball now. So I'm like, it's the perfect time for me to just try to help and give back a little bit. We just teach the fundamentals. We don't teach nothing crazy because what people really don't know, if you've never been to a D1 practice or anything like that, is everything that I teach right now: ball handling, one dribble pickups, reverse pivots, and jab steps, one dribble pullbacks, and retreat dribbles. That's what you're gonna be learning in D1. That's what you do in your individuals, and then you do your breakdown with your individual guard coach, and you do your team practice. Then you go watch film. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to show the kids that I'm training, if they're the younger, or even some of the high school or college kids that hit me up from time to time, just to try to show them, what they should be trying to shoot for and what their training should look like.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So go ahead and shout out your Instagram because maybe somebody in Chicago, or maybe they have some kind of networks, or if somebody's in Chicago, can they get a hold of you, and how your Instagram handle and all that stuff? Shout that out right now.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's the Prolific Skill Academy on IG, and we also have the email address at the Prolific Skill Academy at yahoo.com.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, hit him up, hit him up. I could vouch for all that what he's saying, and I see the videos coming up. You guys were caught. What's up with the significance of 5 o'clock in the morning trainings? I mean, I understand it. You're gonna get out and work. The legendary coach John Chaney, he used to have all the over there at Temple.
Yeah,
Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning practices.
yeah. I mean, that's what we had in my D1 at my D1 too, bro. We were on the track by 6 o'clock, running 3 miles in under 20 minutes for preseason workouts, and then from that, if it's not preseason workouts, then it's individuals or team practices or sessions. So I like to get my work done. It just feels better when you get your work done. And if you get one workout in early, like Kobe said, how many workouts was Kobe getting working out in his day? 3, 4. You have to get an early one in, so maybe you can get a later one in at night, get some rest, wake up, get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So if we're gonna do it, some of the older guys that that hit me up and reach out to me, I try to get them to see that if they're trying to get to that certain level, these are the type of steps that they need to be making.
For sure, for sure. And now you have that perspective and that insight. Now you also went a little step further with your professional career and actually became a certified Fiba agent, man. That's big. Congratulations to that, my man. You want to tell us about that process and how you navigated through that?
Oh yeah, man, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, it was something I had been thinking about for a while, just because, like I said, after my first agent that I dealt with out of college, I was actually been accruing my own deals and dealing with a lot of team managers and coaches and agents myself. So it was kind of just something that I was like, yeah, I can do it. But then when the COVID hit, all the stuff just stopped being open, the testing sites and the interview processes and everything like that. It was on a standstill, just like the rest of the world. So when that got lifted, I went down there, had my interview process and everything, killed that, took the test, killed that, and then I got certified. And then, through a mutual friend of mine that just knows my work ethic and always try to help me along the way, he actually, suggested that I come along board on his that I should reach out to one of his friends that had an agency that was big in Korea, big in Japan. So thanks to his good words about me to Dave Song, we actually linked up, had a little meeting, and now I'm working with him as well at Top Notch Sports. So with him, we do a lot of stuff with Korea, and he has dealings in Japan. But myself, with all my connections in the Middle East and in Africa, and a little bit in Eastern and Southern Eastern Europe, I'm trying to build something nice, what I'm saying, that's gonna be sustainable. And not only just, money wise, but actually, it's like I said, I had to grind myself. So I know what it's like, what I'm saying, for the players out here. and what they're going to be trying to do and what they're going to be getting into in certain situations. So I just want to lend a helping hand and lend a voice and make sure the players are enjoying themselves and having fruitful careers like I had.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate that, man. We're definitely gonna work together in the future, and we get this pipeline from the kids in like in Rwanda and in South Sudan coming online, because they could definitely benefit that. I myself kind of have that same type of like touch and go type of relationship with agents, but I definitely understand the need for those providing those initial opportunities, man. I mean, that's the key. Once you have that opportunity, you get a position where you can like I said, establish your career. It's a once in a lifetime thing, and it commend you for sticking yourself out there like that, man.
Oh no, I appreciate that, bro. And like I said, I definitely love what you got going on. Yeah, like I said, that's so major, and I'm definitely intrigued about getting over there and checking it all out. Because it's so interesting that just off my LinkedIn alone, that one of the kids that reached out to me on LinkedIn, I was actually able just to snap my fingers and oh, what? No, that's my homie right there. Let me reach out to him, and let you go into the camp and you can check him out. And then you sent me his video, and I was like, who is this? And I reached out like, oh, he's good. I was like, oh, this is the same kid. So it just works like that with the network and having good people around you. So you definitely got to keep doing what you're doing. And then, like I said, it's just planting those roots and, and then building out, and watching it grow. That's all.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, my brother. And then I hope to see you in Kigali for in the end of May for the BAL finals, man.
Oh yes, sir. I'm actually, and that's one of the things. Like I said, with the agency thing, Dave actually went over to Korea for their All-Star game and stuff like that. I'm going over to Spain and Morocco in the spring, and like I said, I'm gonna come over there and see you in Rwanda. So it's not just gonna be just emailing and talking. No, I'm gonna go actually sit over there and for people to see me and shake my hand and just take a look at my character, which is pretty good.
I can vouch. I can vouch. I can vouch. That's my man. All right, man. You be safe, bro. I'm gonna holler at you in a minute, man. Peace.
I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.